Welcome back to another video. So, confession, it's Friday evening, it's 5:15. I wanted to have this video up by now, but I've been procrastinating. I wanted to include in this video basically me packing my kit, which I was going to do hours ago, but I didn't. But it's fine. So basically, I'm 2 days out. I've done my last taper session. I will show you how that went, but I'll probably put that in at the end, to be honest. It's not very interesting. So Wednesday was like my main taper session, and then yesterday, Thursday, I also did my mini accessory day, which was literally just close grip last and press, 4 sets of 5 at 80, really comfortable, just focusing on good positioning. And then I also just did some rows, single arm, and that was literally it, but really comfortable, really light, just feeling kind of my lats getting some movement and things and feeling my scap and everything. So training is done. I've got 2 full rest days and then I compete. In 48 hours from now, I'll be done. Yeah, I'm feeling good, I think. I'm kind of excited now. I'm definitely feeling better than I was during the week. I think one thing worth talking about is body weight. So I wasn't sure, like the week of comp, you never really know what you're gonna have to eat until you know what you weigh. Like it is a very much day by day kind of thing. So especially if you're, because I've been losing anyway, just from house stress and everything like that, like my body weight has been kind of dropping anyway. Even as I put my calories up over the last few weeks, my body weight has still been dropping. And then last Friday, I cut out creatine, which is why I've seen a big drop this week. So my average weight this week has been 84.5. So I've been 84.5 most days. There was one day where I was 85.2. That was yesterday, Thursday. But that's simply because Wednesday night I didn't eat until gone 10 p.m. And then I was up at 6 and weighed myself at 6 in the morning. So very late dinner, very early weigh-in. Not much sleep is obviously going to result in me sitting a bit heavier, so it wasn't anything to worry about. And then today I was 84.6 again, so that's absolutely fine. All I am now doing in order to make weight and guarantee that I make weight comfortably is today I've eaten more calorie dense foods. So rather than trying to eat a lot of nutrient dense foods that are a lot higher in volume and lower in calories, that I can kind of make the most out of my meals, I've had like slightly fattier cuts of meat. I've had bread rather than like potatoes as my carbs because there's a little bit more calorie dense, just little things like that. And then what I've also had is a protein shake rather than eating extra protein. And I've also got a milkshake to have later just to get some extra carbs and a little bit of fat in. I was going to have it tomorrow, but I didn't realise it went out of date 2 days ago. So I don't really want to push it any further. So if I have food poisoning at comp, I actually had this conversation the other day. Very dumb question. Is it food poisoning if it's from like dairy gone off? I guess it is. Not relevant to the video. Let me know if you know the answer though. I could just Google it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm having liquid calories today basically. So I'm not eating as much food volume, which means there won't be as much food weight in my gut. My fibre was still quite high today. So I still had my normal granola and berries for breakfast with some yogurt. So that is quite a high fibre meal. But then the rest of my meals have been quite low fibre. So I should be a little bit lighter tomorrow anyway. I've also had my last meal of the day. All I've got left to have is a milkshake today. So when I weigh myself in the morning, it will have been a good, I think 14, 15 hours of, I can't do that maths in my head, whatever 5 till 8 in the morning is of not eating. So that will also give me a good indicator of what sort of time I need to stop eating tomorrow. I was probably going to have a liquid meal with some chocolate as my last meal tomorrow. So basically a protein shake and some chocolate. So at like 6 p.m, partly as well because I'll have already left to go to the hotel. I won't have any food, I won't really have any solid food to take with me then for tomorrow, which makes my life a bit easier. But yeah, so depending what I weigh tomorrow will depend on what I eat tomorrow. But what I think I will do is I will actually vlog what I eat tomorrow. So I will show you in my, I don't know when I'm going to film my comp recap. I'm hoping to get some clips of the comp throughout the day. So hopefully on Monday I'll put everything up. But if not, I will put up on Monday kind of like one day out, and maybe even getting ready for comp. So I'm gonna make sure to film what I'm packing to take with me for food tomorrow and also what I'm eating tomorrow to make weight. But yeah, basically a little bit of food manipulation, but not really. Like my macros have been the same. I've actually been having slightly higher fat, to be honest. So yeah, I'm breezing into this comp is basically what I'm gonna say. Only issues I have got that I definitely need help with are what colour singlet to wear. I'm gonna pack both. That's the point. Let me start packing my bag because that was actually what I was going to sit and do while I was speaking, but now I'm just talking. So I am packing my bag. I actually bought a suitcase for comp just to make kit check a little bit quicker and easier. So I've got 2 singlets. Literally I actually own 2. I've got another one on the way from Vinted though. I've got my red and black classic SBD, and then I've also got my all black SBD, and I put a poll up on my Instagram story of which one I should wear, and it's pretty much been 50-50. I think it's had the most interaction any of my stories have ever had, and it's been pretty much 50-50. To be fair, it is edging more towards like 60-40 now on all black, but I think I want to wear the black and red, but I also don't know. I've only ever worn black and red, I think, at comps. So apart from like back in the day when I was 72, I did have an all black Titan singlet. But yeah, I'm gonna pack both. But if you have an opinion on whether I should wear the red and black singlet or the all black singlet, because that is an incredibly important decision, please do let me know down below, because I can't make decisions for myself. It's actually quite funny. So why can't I get my words out? Have you ever heard of that thing where it's like, if you're not sure what decision to make, flip a coin, and if you're disappointed when the coin lands, you know what you want? I feel like that is literally me to a T with everything in life. Not that I ever flip a coin, but like I will ask for someone's opinion on something, and I'll almost be annoyed with their answer, and I'll know to go with the opposite answer. Similar thing happened with talking about my openers, which is actually something else. I'm not going to take everyone's advice on my openers, but if you have been following my training, let me know down below what you think I should open at, because I'm really intrigued for other people's opinions. I think I am probably going to lowball it and kind of go a little bit more conservative than what I possibly could do, simply because of comp day nerves, and self-doubt has been creeping in massively. But yeah, if you have an opinion, if you've been following my training, obviously if you've never watched my videos before and you don't see any of my training, you don't need to leave an opinion, but feel free to, that's fine. But yeah, I think I'm trying to multitask. I'm not very good at multitasking. But yeah, both singlets packed, deadlift socks, very important. Also, spare underwear, as a woman especially, but I think guys also have incidents on comp day. Very important to have spare underwear, just in case. Wrist straps in the bag still. I've literally only worn these once before at my last comp. I have a pair for comps and I have a pair for training, simply because the quality of the SBDs, I personally don't think is as good as it used to be. So the thumb loops do start to fray quite a lot, especially when they've had quite a lot of use. And technically, if your equipment or your kit isn't up to scratch, you can have it turned away at kit check. I don't think that would happen, but I have got one pair of wrist straps that are very much damaged that I don't think I'd get away with. So basically, to be safe and just to like have nicer kit, I always have a pretty much brand new pair of wrist straps with me for comp day. Chalk, just to be safe. And with that, liquid chalk. I've not used liquid chalk at comp before. I'm pretty sure when I started powerlifting, there was actually a rule that you're not allowed to use liquid chalk, but that has definitely gone. And I know a lot of the lifters at Sheffield used it as well, and they were talking about it because I think the chalk at the comp, a lot of them were dropping deadlifts for. And that's when a few people said, oh no, I always use liquid chalk when I pull because at comp, because it's just that little bit tackier. Also realised I have not grabbed a box or a tub for my chalk, so I'm going to go and grab a tub for my chalk. Tupperware for my chalk. I probably won't use my own chalk. I never really take chalk to comps, but again, recently I feel like at comps the quality of the chalk hasn't really been quite as good. It literally just depends, and I have dropped deadlifts because of grip in the past, and I refuse to let that happen again, which is why I've got liquid chalk and a block of chalk. I'm not a lifter that really chalks their back for squats or bench, to be honest. I mean, I have in the past, but I don't think I'm going to bother this time because I don't really feel like it actually makes any difference. And especially I think if we use the Alico bench, sometimes I think chalk makes you feel a bit slippier. Also, t-shirt. I'm going to pack a spare t-shirt. I don't know if I want to admit this on a video, but basically there is a rule that you're not allowed to wear a cropped top underneath your singlet, which is absolutely fine. It never used to be a rule. I used to always wear a crop top. It's just comfier. It doesn't bunch up at the bottom. That is technically a full-length t-shirt. However, it is definitely too small for me. So I worry that whoever does kit check might be a bit picky and say, that's too cropped, you can't wear that. I don't think they would because I won't be wearing it at kit check, but just to be safe, another bigger t-shirt. But I don't really like that t-shirt very much. This is where we have all of the shoes. Let me zip that up. I feel like this is a very disorganised bag, but it's fine. So one thing I am looking forward to post-comp is what actually arrived today. I got the Vivos, the Motor Strength, I think they're called. One of my friends has a discount code, so I got 30% off. My other pair of Vivos that I'm going to deadlift in a comp, I'm not a massive fan of, but they are the first ever pair For me, they're just not very comfortable because the top of my foot is quite thick. So I didn't really like them that much. They weren't that comfortable, but they are decent for squatting in. Like I used to love squatting in these. It was just because they started to fall apart that I changed, and which is why I went to my Jordans. But I think I need something more solid to the ground than Jordans, because Jordans have got a slight heel. Like I say heel, it's barely a heel, but they're not completely flat. But they've also got a little bit of like squish in the bottom, which I used to quite like. But I think the reason I liked it was because I was squatting at home on like concrete and horse mat, where now when I've gone to powering through and I've used an actual platform, they don't quite feel solid enough. So I'm going to switch to Vivos for squats, and I'll wear them for comp deadlifts as well after comp. So that's one less pair of shoes I'm going to have to take with me everywhere, because I think I will find I feel more grounded on squats in a more flat shoe. But anyway, so packing shoes: Vivos for deadlift, my wet shoes for bench, and then I need to pack my Jordans as well that I don't really take out of the box either, apart from when I'm using them. So got my Jordans as well. This is the other thing. I'm like, do I wear my red and black singlet simply because I have red and black Jordans and they match? But then I'm like, well, actually, I don't really care that much because there's only one lift that they're going to match on. Is this going to shut? I really hope so. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, to be fair. Yes, so that is one bit packed. I feel like I've forgotten something. I've got my knee sleeves in front of me. I've literally laid all of my kit out around me, so I had to pack it today, so because the mess would have just driven me mad. Knee sleeves, they are freshly washed, but they are also inside out. And I'm a nail biter. This is literally just me talking. I'm so sorry. As a nail biter, and when I say nail biter, I'm getting worse for it. And I think because comp's coming up, I'm like doing it because I'm like anxious subconsciously. My fingers are so painful at the top most of the time. So switching knee sleeves in and out is actually really painful for me, which is really annoying. Anyway, knee sleeves packed. I don't think my belt's going to fit in my bag. That's a bit sad. I hope it does, but we're going to see. But that is the only thing I've got left to pack. I always feel like it is a massive stress packing for comp day, even though you just need to take your gym bag. Like, I never stress that I've forgotten stuff when I go to the gym, and it's literally the same thing. Oh, maybe it does fit. Obviously it's because comp day is important and you want to make sure you've got everything that you need, but like, why do I overthink it so much? I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure most people overthink it. And I think in the past I've always written a list of what I need to remember to take with me, but I have not done that this time. I actually think this is the least, I don't say least organised I've been for a comp, it's just the least I've really thought about the comp. Yeah, I think my bag is packed. So I've also got resistance band. There's the stuff I need to remember as well to warm up with, should I want it. I don't always use it, it depends. I used to always use it because I found like opening up my rotator cuff and everything, or like warming up my rotator cuff and everything was quite helpful for me to reduce pain and stuff in my elbows. But to be honest, it hasn't really made a difference recently. My elbows feel terrible regardless. Probably not the attitude to have with it, but it's fine. They're slowly getting there. I'm a little bit worried they're going to hurt for comp day, but that is why I'm going to buy some ibuprofen later as well. Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm doing my comp day food shop today. I was going to do it earlier so I could show you what I got in this video. However, procrastinating all day, have not done that. So I'm going to show that in tomorrow's video. I think I did say that already. But yeah, one thing I need to get as well is ibuprofen, and I need to make sure I put that in my gym bag. So I'm taking 2 bags. I'm taking a normal rucksack with clothes in for my overnight stay, and then what I'm going to wear on comp day so that I can just leave that in the car on comp day. I might put food in that bag depending on if I can fit any in this bag, which I don't think I'll be able to be fair. So I'll probably take a food bag as well, but that is kind of it. I'm trying to take as little as possible into the venue with me because it's just more stuff that I can lose. Although I have got people coming to watch, so I can leave stuff with them, so it's not a problem. My chalk box doesn't really fit. Probably put it in the worst place possible. But that's fine. Right, I think my bag is packed. Oh, also, I'm not going to need these. I actually bought these for the British last March, just as a precaution. The pack is still sealed because I've not had to use them, which I'm very grateful for. But always, just in case I'm sitting heavy, I take paper cups, just in case I have to spit out in the morning of comp. I don't think I'll have to, but you never know. Also got talc in a bag because you don't want it to get on anything else in your bag. So just going to wrap that up in here as well. But yeah, I think my gym bag's packed at least, so that's one big job ticked off. I say I've procrastinated today, to be fair. When I first got up, I got all of my coaching work done for the day. I've got some programs I'm going to write later just to get me ahead on next week so that this weekend I don't have to worry about like working on Sunday. I'll do replies and stuff tomorrow morning just before I go anyway. Oh, gum shield. Definitely need that. Yeah, I'll do replies and stuff in the morning anyway because I don't want any of my clients to like notice that I'm competing. They all they know that I'm competing, but I just want to make sure that they know that they're still priority because obviously they are. So yeah, anyway, bag is packed. That's my kit bag done. I just don't feel like I've remembered everything. Oh, and I've got a pen. Always take a pen because usually they have handwritten attempt cards, but not always. But you want to be prepared in case they do. Yeah, I think that's everything. That was a very uninteresting clip, probably. Yeah, but I'm feeling good. I am intrigued for people's opinions on what I should use, like what I should do for my attempts. Not even just openers, but like if you've been watching my videos, like, let me know what you think I should open on, what you think my third attempt should be, like what I should be aiming for. I find it really interesting hearing other people's opinions and perspectives on obviously my training and stuff that you've seen. I was having this conversation yesterday with my friend that's handling me about squats, and squats this block haven't been great. If you've followed along my training, you know this has probably been one of the worst blocks of, well, the worst block of squats of this entire off season since I've started religiously like vlogging my training and stuff. But I do think a big part of it is just because I've been hitting depth undeniably this block, where before it was like I was just hitting depth. Which I'm fine with that because I feel like I'd rather lose 5 kilos off my squat and hit depth than risk missing a squat on depth just to get a little bit heavier. Like you need to hit depth to pass in comp, so it's fine. So yeah, I think I did this for my last comp as well. The block into comp felt the worst because I was sinking a bit too much, but it's not a problem. I know one of the refs isn't a massive fan of me. Very long story, won't go into it. But he is a side ref for all of my lifts, so I need to make sure that everything is undeniable. Yeah, but it's fine. We've got a jury though, so that's going to be good in case there are any controversial calls. But I don't think there will be. I do lift to standard. I think the only thing I'm worried about is my butt coming up on bench, but it's going to be fine. I think I mentioned this in the last video, like, because I've had lower back issues in the past, I try not overly tuck, obviously, like you shouldn't be tucking your lower back that much on bench. But for me, because of the way I'm built, I don't really have much in my lower half. Especially now I've lost more weight, it is very easy for my butt to come off the bench. So one thing that I have to make sure I do on comp day is just over tuck to keep my butt down the bench. And that's not a comfortable thing for me to do. So in training, I don't do it because it's more likely to upset my lower back. But in comp, obviously it's 3 reps, it's fine. I can do that. But yeah, I don't know what else I had to say in this video. I'm just nervous. Next video will definitely be, what am I doing with my hands? Next video will definitely be showing what I'm eating a day out. It will show what I'm taking with me for comp day nutrition. I don't know how much I'm going to film on comp day. I'm going to give my camera to one of my friends that's coming to watch. She is in charge of filming my lifts because there should be a live stream. It is a national level comp. I'd be very upset if there's not. However, no one knows if there's actually going to be a live stream or not. There's been no publicity announced or like anything has been announced for this comp. Like the lifting schedule isn't even released publicly. Like Wiv as lift has been emailed the schedule. And I think I mentioned this in a previous video, like the 76 women class is stacked. The men's weekend is stacked, but no one really knows unless you follow the lifters and then mention they're doing it. No one really knows who's competing. And I just think that's going to be so unfair, especially for the 76 women. Like I'm staying to watch them because I'm so excited for the class. And I'm sure the other women's classes are going to be just as exciting. It's just that I don't know all of the lifters in them and stuff. But yeah, so there's not really been much publicity around the comp, but there should be a live stream. And if there is, I will definitely put it on my Instagram story. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, but you want to watch the live stream, then I will make sure to put it on there, providing I get given it in decent time. Obviously, if I'm already warming up, then it's not going to happen. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Also, I need people's opinions on everything. I don't know whether to have my hair dried with a full fringe or a side fringe. So my mum is my hairdresser. She is a hairdresser. My hairline is very odd. So when I have a fringe, we have to cut it quite far back because I have like the world's worst receding hairline. It's not actually receding, it just looks like it has. Anyway, so when she cuts me a fringe in, we have to kind of do a full fringe, but I just dry it as a side fringe. And this time we've taken a little bit more forward to make sure that my horrible hairline doesn't show as much when I've got it up at comp, especially because at comp I'm not going to be, I mean, not that I care what I look like most of the time, obviously I care a little bit, but like I'm not that bothered if my hair looks a bit shit. And at comp, I'm definitely not going to think about it. I'm just going to shove it up and go out for my lifts. But in order to give myself the best chance of not hating every single picture that I get, we cut some more of my fringe in. I say we, she. And yeah, I thought I'd just try it as a full fringe and see what I thought. So let me know, full fringe or side fringe, very important decision. I'm also fake tanning tonight. I literally fake tan every time I compete and that's it. I'm the most low maintenance person ever unless I'm competing, but it's fine. It's a very important ritual when it comes to competing. Yeah, I'm not really doing anything to prepare. I'm definitely feeling better. I do keep watching my PBs back. So a couple of blocks ago, the last block I did where I was like 100% confident in my squats, and I think it was the last block I did where I got really ill as well. I squatted 165 for 5, and this is to this day my most impressive squat PB in my opinion. I was so ill that week. I had the worst cold, and I can just remember going into that session, I was only supposed to do 162.5 for 5. I was really just pissed off at my body for getting ill again. So I just loaded 165, and I thought, no, 2.5 kilos is nothing. I'm not going to feel it. And the confidence I had going into that set, I want to mimic that on comp day. So I just keep watching this over and over again just to remember that feeling that I had. So if you see me on comp day just watching reels of myself on repeat, there is a reason for it. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I will show you my training clips, basically what I did for Wednesday session. So normally on this end of block Wednesday session, so I'd have my Wednesdays, it's kind of like my secondary day, but not really. I still push it normally. And then Saturday is my main heavy day, which for this week is going to be Sunday for comp. So normally on a Wednesday, for this session in particular, I would have done 165 for 5 reps, and then I would have done 140 for 3 sets of 7 on squats. So going into my taper, in order to still get the stimulus from the load without the volume and lowering the intensity to reduce the fatigue, I did the exact same load as I normally would, but less reps. So instead of doing a set of 5 at 165, I did a set of 3 at 165. Instead of doing 3 sets of 7 at 140, I did 3 sets of 3 at 140, which was so much nicer than 7s. I hate sets of 7. So yeah, I'll show you how they went. And then also on bench, the plan was basically just to pull back quite heavily on bench. Like I took it very comfortably, just because I think the 112.5 I did last week ended up powering through. If you've seen that video, you will know it was a grindy rep. And then my back offs also were quite grindy. And my elbows have definitely been quite tender. I don't think it's bench that caused my elbows to feel tender, but I know bench suffers the most when they are like that. I think that's just from fatigue from squats and accessories, to be honest. Yeah, so I decided to take that bench session incredibly light because it's not easy to get weaker, okay? And that is something I keep reminding myself. Even if you overly pull back on a lift week of comp, you're not going to suddenly get weaker from it. All you're going to do is reduce that fatigue. Like, I know how to bench. I've benched well over 110 enough times. I've repped 110 before. I know I've not got weaker. I've just got more fatigue. So plan for bench was just to do a single at my opener, which I'm thinking is going to be 107.5. And then 4 sets of 5, I just did 95 because I know 95 is ridiculously comfortable. It was like an RP 5 to 6 and it was absolutely fine. And I made sure to just pause every rep. My 107.5 single, I wanted a longer comp pause than I actually did, but the reason I couldn't hold it is just because my elbows were tender. I know on comp day, with some ibuprofen in my system and with just the fact that it's comp day and I only have to do 3 singles, that won't be a factor, and I'm just gonna wait for the command. But yeah, anyway, I'll show you how the session went, and I guess next time I see you, I'll have already competed, which is terrifying. Comp recap will be up Friday at the latest, but I will definitely post something on Monday, whether that's one day out vlog or whether that is everything combined. Who knows? Let's hope it's a good one. And please wish me luck in the comments because I'm gonna need it. Yeah, and let me know opinions. Let me know which singlet I should wear, red or black. No, red and black or black. Let me know if I should have my hair as a full fringe or a side fringe, and let me know what you think I should open on. Very intrigued people's opinions on all of those things. Obviously, how I look on comp day is the more important thing. Like, you know, who cares what I lift? I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm so sorry if this has been really boring. But yeah, I'll put my training clips at the end, but I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do leave a like, comment down below, answer some of my questions, give me something to read to just distract myself from overthinking everything over the next day, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next week once I've competed.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart, 'cause I know we won't make it out. I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out. We've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Okay, so final squats until comp are done. I'm excited. I actually think I'm excited to compete now. Going into the session, so normally for my final week of a block, I would hit 165 that I squatted today for a set of 5. But to preserve energy and to taper off my squat a little bit more because fatigue is so high, I just did it for a set of 3, just to drop the RP, lower the intensity slightly, but still get me used to that load. So going in, I was like, I'm gonna make this move, like RP 6, 7, it's gonna be fine. Now, going in, I think because I knew it was a set of 3 where normally it would be a set of 5, I didn't try as hard, because I definitely still tried, and I tried to get myself in the mindset, but it's that thing in the back of your head where you know, like, if you would usually be doing this for a set of 5, then 3 is easy. And obviously that's not the case, it's still 165 for reps on a block where squats haven't felt their best. But then I watched it back after and I was like, do you know what? I mean, even in the moment as I finished the set, like, I knew confidently I could at least do 2 more reps. But like, gun to my head, 3 or 4 more reps would have come out. Like, I could have done it. And I've mentioned this before, but my weight has dropped this week basically. So I was sitting like mid 85s about a week ago. I cut creatine out on Friday, so just over 7 days. I think it was like 8 or 9 days out. I cut creatine out. And by Sunday, I was 84.6. So I dropped a kilo in like 2 days, which is fine. It's just water weight. And I've been sitting at 84.5 the last 3 days in a row. So my weight has dropped quite quickly. A lot of that I think has come off of, like, the retention stuff has come off of my midsection a little bit. So my belt is even looser, but I'm still between the 2 holes. But for my top set, I thought, no, I'm going to go on the looser one because I've been using the tight one for my top sets in this block and it's felt worse. So I used the looser one for my top set and then the tighter one on my back offs, and it definitely felt better on the tighter one. So I think now that I'm closer to 84, basically, I need my belt a little bit tighter. So my belt for my top set was actually a little bit loose as well. It didn't feel very supportive, which is why I think I was a little bit shakier in the hole. But anyway, ramble. 165 for 3, RP 7 at most. I think that's the strongest I've ever been, possibly. Like, when I hit 165 for 5 a few blocks ago, I mean, yes, I was ill, but when I'm ill, I'm almost like more stubborn to make things move well. But it was definitely like max effort last time, like RP 9.510. So to hit it for a triple, just a few days out from comp, I'm not mad. RP 7-ish, like, it was fine, it was comfortable enough. And I think had I gone in a bit more focused, a bit more determined, like had I gone in aiming for a set of 5, it would have moved even easier those first 3 reps. So I'm happy with that. And then back offs, normally I would have sets of 7 at 140 today, but because it's comp week, I just did sets of 3, which were lovely in comparison to sets of 7. No one enjoys sets of 7. And it was nice to just do sets of 3, and they felt really good, which obviously they should do. They're supposed to be super sub backs. But yeah, just 3x3 at 140 for back offs, and they were really comfortable. And now I have no more squats until comp day on Sunday. And I know the only thing standing between me hitting the numbers I want to hit is my confidence and my mindset. I think last video I did mention that my mindset wasn't great, but I was going to use this week to try and like find things to motivate me and to help me kind of find that self-belief, kind of visualize things. And it's definitely getting there. By the time I finished squats tonight, to be fair, my mood was really good. Like, I think I'm actually excited now. Hoping bench moves well. I'm only going to work up to my opener. Well, what I think is going to be my opener, which is 107.5. So I was hoping that I'd be able to open around the 110 mark, jump to 115, then maybe like 117 to 120. But I know for a fact that you don't know what the bench is going to feel like on comp day. I don't know what bench we're using because my butt's been coming up on the Alico as well. Like, it just makes sense to open at 107.5, lower my expectations slightly on bench, which I thought was a very high possibility. I'd have to do that anyway. But yeah, I'm basically thinking 107.5 opener on comp day because it's a number that I am 1000% sure I can hit with a 5 count pause if I had to. So I'm just going to do it today. This is my long pause day, but I'm just going to do like a strict comp pause. So it's not going to be anything excessive. It's just going to be a solid rep at 107.5, confidence booster, because my elbows as well are still incredibly tender. They're definitely getting better. But yeah, I just want to pull back that last bit of fatigue ready for Sunday. So going to start benching in a second, but I just want to say squats felt good. They still don't feel as good as they have done. Like, they just feel a bit off. But I mean, they're fine. They're not. They're going to be fine. I'm the strongest I've ever been on them. I'm probably going to open on my comp max. Like, it's fine. I know as a minimum I can hit 180, which is a 7.5 PB, but I'm also confident that I have probably close to 190. But again, not going to talk through that now. Going to talk through that probably at the end of this video. If not, we'll speak about my expectations and stuff in my comp recap, I guess. But I'm just procrastinating now because I know comp day's going to have really long rests, so I'm trying not to rush through my session, but I'm also wanting to get done, so I'm going to bench.
It's alright, so let's move on. 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 We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we...
Okay, so bench is done. I have close grip tomorrow, just close grip last and press super light. But comp bench is done until comp as well. My 107.5 wasn't as strict of a pause as I wanted it to be. Basically, my elbows are incredibly tender. I can't remember if I've said that already or not. And they've been kind of tender or blocked, but they do feel a little bit worse again today. I'm sure by Sunday they'll be fine, but also even if they're not, I'll just take some ibuprofen, and that'll be fine. Basically, it just felt a bit shaky for me. My elbows, like, they didn't feel locked in position very well. Like, I just felt a bit shaky. So bench wasn't the best. My back offs at 95 were incredibly easy, which they should be. And I made sure to pause everything just to get comfortable on the chest. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, we'll just sort of see what happens on the day. I had my last meal at 1:30. I had an apple before I trained, but I didn't start training until 6:30, I think, if not slightly later. I don't know what the time is now. So I said this last week as well. Like, I did the same thing last week. Very silly of me, but it's fine because I know on comp day that won't be a problem. So yes, anyway, bench was okay. I'm not going to talk too much more tonight. I'm going to kind of go away, think about things.
It's alright if we are crashing down again. Pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want.